Welcome in Phantom to Jappy.
Hello, hello, what's up? Toga P, welcome in, welcome in. We will be continuing episode 3, the Rite of Turnabout today. The third case in the Spirit of Justice game. I have no camera on today. My camera's been a little bit weird lately. Doing this weird choppy thing that's been getting worse and worse. So I said, fuck it. Let's not let it get in the way of a good time. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Hoodie, welcome in, Hoodie. Yeah, so we're just going to focus on the game today. So hopefully that'll just enhance the voices, if anything. So, yeah, anyways. Glad that you guys are here. My fellow Ace Attorney fans, as we continue on this one. We're about to start the trial, the second part of the trial. So let's go ahead and load on in, and we will go over the evidence and what we've already done here. Let's see here. Except I think I lost the audio. Why do I not hear anything? It's because it's not playing anything. Okay, I gotta restart the emulator. Hold on, bear with me. Sometimes this happens. There's always some audio issue, right? It wouldn't be a Domm Dynamite stream without an audio issue. No, I don't want the update. It works. Don't bother me. Alright, let's move the little guy screen over here. Okay, I think we should have game audio now. Let me know if it sounds weird though, guys, but hopefully it should be good since it's fresh. Load that state. Then we'll hit back. And there we go. I think we're good. Just writing some more in my novel. Glad to hear it. Hell yeah. How far are you? How many chapters you got, or pages, or however you measure it? I guess because you're writing it on like Wattpad, right? Or one of those websites. How do you measure it anymore? How many words? Sending you to Tokopedia. What is it about? If I can be asking. Yeah, there you go. Don't edit the autopsy report if it's fine as it is. Yeah, there you go. All right, let me see. Let me get my screen sized up. Open up the court record. And here we are. Okay, so the case so far, as I remember it, on chapter 7 out of to be determined. Nice, chapter 7. Nice, working through it. Got quite a bit of story laid out so far then, huh? Very cool. Okay, so case so far is... God, this one is starting to get a little long, isn't it? So we're in Coleraine, which is the religious country in this world, and Maya was here to train to be a better medium. She was a part of a ritual that was performed every year, and during the ritual, the other person there died, and it was like a secret ritual. She gets indicted for that and gets found guilty, and thus Phoenix, because of this city's laws, gets wrapped into that guilty verdict as well. But immediately as she gets found guilty for that case, she's also accused of another murder of another man who was connected to the victim, the original victim. So last week we were investigating that, just to fast forward. I know I skipped over a lot, but we're just fast forwarding up to last week, getting the broad strokes. So now we can look at the evidence for that case. So the victim in that case is Pure Zealot. He's an apprentice priest living in the high priest's house. He is like part of the family. So to give a little bit more backstory, the high priest's house is... The high priest was a previous victim. That's Taurus Inmi. He's a Kyrenius high priest in charge of the rites of Lady Kira, killed during the purification rite, has a clergyman's mark on his brow. So yeah, Lady Kira is the religious symbol that Maya was embodying during the ceremony. Our lovely Maya. Poor Maya, she is accusing again. Yeah, twice in a row too, man. Like, oh my gosh. Let's see. And the only remaining member of the Inmi family is Abali Inmi, the wife of, or the widow of the victim. She usually plays the part of Lady Kira in the purification rite. Instead, it was Maya this year. Other notable characters I guess we can go over while we're in here is we have Dats Araybal. He is a member of the Defiant Dragons, or he's an ex-member because he's leaving. I guess he escaped from prison. At one point, he was a paratrooper in some country's airborne unit. So yeah, Dats Araybal, he's a rebel that is, we learned last week, is part of the Defiant Dragons, which are the like former defense attorneys or something of this land, because they want to bring back like defense attorneys and like a system where, you know, there's the seances are looked at with like where you look for the truth in the seance and not try to make the seance fit the prosecution's story, which is what's happening now. And so that's their whole mission, we found out. And so we kind of like agree with that, obviously. Actually, not even kind of like, we very much agree with that. So that was a pretty interesting development last week. There's Rayfa. She's the one that does the divination seances. She's the princess of this land. We'll see a lot of her. I think that's pretty much all we need to go over in the profile. So let's go over the evidence. This will help me remember stuff too. So yeah, just a little bit more backstory. To this case that we need to remember is there is this person who has been apparently dressing up as the Lady Kira, which was the same person that Maya was supposed to dress up during the purification rite. And they have been going around killing or capturing rebels or whatever and imprisoning them. And they started popping up the same time Maya came here. So that has been part of the accusation, is that she is this Lady Kira vigilante. And so yeah, that's been happening, and that's been going on, and she's getting the finger pointed at for that as well. So we have to remember that. So we have this newspaper which talks about that. Lady Kira returns to battle rebels. The Lady Kira-like figure that appeared 2 years ago remains a mystery. Some town elders see her as Lady Kira in the flesh. Such rumors are fueling the enthusiasm for today's purification rite. Let's see what else we got. Purification rite. Yeah, this might come up again. The thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sanctum to the plaza of devotion until yesterday has melted. The rite can now go on as planned. Which I think we already used this piece of evidence, but we still have it, so it might still come up. We give thanks for the blessings of the Holy Mother and Lady Kira. Escape prisoner alert, which was Datsaribal. We went over him. Police are asking the kingdom subjects to be on the lookout for a male insurgent who escaped from Royal Penitentiary number 4 yesterday. He also escaped from the courtroom. And the weather forecast, which I think we also already used. But anyways, the area around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies today, though warmer temperature will make for excellent prayer weather. Be warned, however, that we'll see a cold front move in overnight. So all of this was news that was relevant on the day of the original murder. And apparently it's still going to matter. It's probably that article about Lady Kira, probably. Let's see. We have the autopsy report for Taurus Inmes, the original victim. Let's see. Take a look at that again. Make sure it's fresh in our minds. Time of death, May 10th, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Cause of death, blood loss from a deep abdominal wound caused by a bladed weapon. The wound appears to have been inflicted by the warbod dagger used in the rite. The mark on his face is one borne by all members of the Carianist clergy somewhere on their bodies. Records of who has what mark and where are kept at Timpul Temple. Okay, keep all that in our minds. Here's some pictures of where he died. In this plowed out area, which I feel like we still haven't really done much with this picture yet, so that might still come up. Keep that one in our minds. Maya's statement, which I think is going to definitely matter soon, because we did find out a little bit about the inner sanctum. But she said the spring water was already stained red when we arrived at the inner sanctum on the day of the rite. So meaning like as soon as she got there, it was already red with blood, as if blood had already been there. And we got behind the statue, that warbot statue. It was in that picture. And there's an inner chamber there that the rebels have been using, the Defiant Dragons. And it has these channels from in there that go under that kind of feed this area. So there could have been the murder happening inside there. And that's how the blood got out here or something like that. I don't know. We haven't gotten to that yet. But we did find out about that room. You know, it was a horror way to go. Yeah, dude, absolutely. I agree. Let's say Lady Kira's warning. I guess this is still going to matter. Probably the content of it. Lady Kira's warning. Do not perform the rite. I know what you are planning. Lady Kira. So this is in reference to a letter. This was a ransom note or whatever that was sent to the original victim, the high priest. And it was delivered with like an arrow and everything, apparently from Lady Kira. And so it kind of points to Lady Kira knowing that something was going to happen during the rite. And we got this. I don't know what this is going to matter with still. We haven't used this at all, but this is just a thing that Maya has. This one-of-a-kind strap plays the Plumed Punisher theme when the Magatama on her belt is pressed. So somebody must hear that theme at some point, and that matters. So let's just listen to it. Because why not? Maya got this in exchange for her Steel Samurai watch. Pressing the Magatama on the belt plays the Plumed Punisher theme song, which begins with some traditional Carianese instruments. Maya says its exotic sound makes it totally different, but it sounds exactly like the Steel Samurai theme song to me. Just take a moment to appreciate that. Lovely, lovely stuff. All right, we got the inner sanctum diagram, shows where Maya and the high priest were during the rite. Okay, we got Maya here, the M, that is Taurus and me, and the killer, I guess, is what we were saying. I guess that's what K was. It's been a while since we did that part. And here's the second victim, a crime photo from Parezalat. Yeah, Parezalat. Killed in the Plaza of Devotion. He has a peach-shaped tattoo on the nape of his neck. So you can see right here. That's the Warbod dagger. Apparently the same one that was used to kill Tarastimi. So interesting. So lots autopsy report. Cause of death, a spinal cord injury from a stab wound to his back. The weapon is thought to be the Warbod dagger, the same weapon used to kill the high priest. Balib's statement. This is the wife of the original victim. The family photo was taken during the Feast of Blessings, where it's customary to partake in dishes made with gingial. These dishes are only prepared during the feast, which starts at noon on the day before the rite, and must be finished by 3 p.m. the same day. Okay, that's going to matter at some point, I suppose. Oh yeah, I don't hate how it does that. We should have started over here. The Warbod dagger. The dagger modeled after a Warbod, said to have been used by Lady Kira. Pretty cool. Okay, that could be kind of an interesting thing to 3D model and print, just to have like a prop, you know, the Warbod dagger from this. Maybe that's something I could do in my free time. Make some cool Ace Attorney props from different cases. And Spine, no, these deaths are worse. Yeah, absolutely. They're so brutal. I know. It's like when you really think about getting stabbed right there, like, holy shit, dude. My God. Namanda flower. A flower the Karyanese use to pay tribute to the departed, expresses heartfelt sympathy. We have a brand new flag. A brand new prayer flag found at the Plaza of Devotion has some writing on it. And scribbled on it is, at the usual spot, bring grub. The key, too. So I feel like we use this in a conversation with the rebel guy. That's a rebel. All right, then we got the family photo that we were talking about in the Balib statement. They were at that feast where they serve that gingial stuff. There's Maya, adorable Maya with her little toy, you know, because she's a child, perpetually a child. But yeah, and that's the second victim and the first victim there. So they look so happy there. Such a nice little family. Was there anything else in there? No, just the photo. All right, next page. Did I skip anything on the second page? No, we were good. All right, last page. Tome of Secrets. A tome given only to the one who will play the role of Lady Kira in the purification rite. So this had some interesting details in there. In a depiction of Lady Kira, right, which is not allowed. It's like the original depiction. Or it has an original name, right? Is that what it was? Something like that. It'll say right here. The priestess acting as Lady Kira's representative must know her name. That name is Imsan. Right? Am I saying that? Or Imsan? Imsan? I'm not sure. Speaking this name is unforgivable. Oh, well, my bad. Hopefully I butchered it then. Lock this knowledge deep in your heart and devote yourself to prayer. So it's better off if you can't pronounce it anyways, because you're not allowed to say it. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting drawing and stuff. I like the art style. Dirk's Law Book. Branding it with the Defiant Dragon's mark demonstrates the strength of Dirk's convictions. The Defense Culpability Act. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. So yeah, the whole like reason for Dirk's rebellion and everything, he's the leader of the Defiant Dragons, is that he's going against the Defense Culpability Act because he thinks that's wrong, obviously. So, you know, it all comes back to what's immediately affecting us, obviously. Because in this world, legal stuff is what everyone cares about. And the Steel Samurai. And last, we have a rebel hideout photo. So this is that area behind the Warbot statue. A photo of the secret rebel hideout. There was a luminol reaction near the entrance. Pretty interesting. So here's like This is like the source of the water. The water flows and goes into the that area with all that. It was like full of blood where Taurus was dead. Then we come here and it shows this is where the blood was found with the luminol. Very interesting. All right, and I guess that brings us to where we're at now, where we have come to the trial of accusing Maya of killing, what's his name? Is the Zealot? What's his name? Pure Zealot? I couldn't remember how to say his first name. Yeah, so now we got to not only prove her innocence here, but hopefully also, in doing so, prove her innocence for the original murder as well, and then obviously save our own noggin. So yeah, here we go. Without further ado. Let me get another drink here really quick. For some reason I keep coughing. A little tickle in my throat. Let's go! Hell yeah! I like that energy, hoodie. Let's do it. All right, May 12th, 9:34 a.m. High Court of Kaurain accused lobby. Maya looks exhausted, but I can't blame her.
Nick, I was thinking about it all day yesterday. I never properly asked you to defend me, did I?
It doesn't matter. I'm on this case till the bitter end.
I know. That's why I wanted to officially ask you for your help.
You got it, Maya. Let's do this. We gotta wrap this up and get back home so we can make your dream show come true. The Steel Samurai versus the Plume Punisher, right?
You bet.
You look as if you did not sleep last night, Barbed Head. It is written all over your face. How can you expect to put up a respectable defense like that?
I'm all fired up and raring to go. I guess Maya's not the only one looking exhausted. Rayfa doesn't seem in the best spirits herself.
Go ahead. Feign confidence now while you are still able. For I will see to it that your last rites are read to you this day.
Damn, dog. Them's fighting words. I like her, she has dead eyes. Yeah, that's why she can see apparently what the dead saw, right? Maybe? Something to do with it? Sounds like a licensing nightmare. Yeah, probably, dude. I mean, maybe they can come to a good compromise somewhere. It'd be funny if it was like already like owned by the same studio because it's such the same show, you know? Guess it was just my imagination.
Ready, Nick?
Okay, Maya. Let's head on in. I like how confident they are going into this. Hell yeah, dude. Let's freaking go, dog. May 12th, High Court of Kaurain. All rise. Court is now in session. Order. Now then, if everyone is ready. The defense is ready, Your Majesty.
The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay.
Oh, no prayers this time, Prosecutor Sadmati.
I already offered my prayers for the latest victim during my visit to the crime scene. Being that the accused has already been found guilty of the first murder, let us hasten this trial, so we may put this dead lawyer walking out of his mystery.
I could not agree more. This guy is totally going to die. In yesterday's trial, the accused was already found guilty of murdering the high priest. And today she will be tried for the murder of his disciple, Puree Zealot. Now then, Prosecutor Sodmati, your opening statement, if you would.
Certainly.
This judge is fancy. I miss Baldy. Me too. I miss him as well. I love that judge. I hope they never replace him.
The accused has now slain 2 of the most devout clergymen in Karianism. Even the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling, would not be punishment enough.
Go. Then, what terrible fate awaits her? How am I going to say that?
Balgilpokan hell, a realm of eternal agony. Balgilpokan? Balgilpokan?
Is that supposed to be like a pun? If you guys know, help me out. I'm not sure on that one. It's in a realm of eternal agony. I feel like they're making a joke and it's going over my bald head. I hate tickling. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it myself.
There she will suffer the endless punishment of Jaeger by the Galoon of Fulmoten? The Galoon of Fulmoten?
Jagger by the gallon of Fulmoten? I'm missing something. I'm missing something, dude. Enough! My blood runs cold at the mere thought that such a terrible place exists. I was going to ask for a translation, but on second thought, ignorance is bliss. And if there's a detention hell, like a school detention, is that what you mean? Or like the what did they call it? Didn't they call it the detention center? In this game, or you mean like that kind? Now then, please continue. Minus the part about the terrible hell awaiting the accused. I'm scared enough.
As you wish. The victim of this heinous crime was the high priest's disciple, Puree Zealot. He had been training under the high priest while living at the priest's home.
I had met him a number of times, and he seemed like an earnest young man. He was going places. How tragic that he met such a terrible end.
The murder occurred at the Plaza of Devotion during the purification rite. It was a bold crime carried out while the plaza was full of the faithful deep in prayer. The Warbod dagger was found impaled in the victim's upper back. The stabbing caused a spinal cord injury that killed him instantly.
Ah, the Warbod dagger. Lady Kira's a weapon of choice. Her signature move. The school version, gotcha. Or the D&D line, hell would be better. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a line that never actually leads to anything. It's just like a big circular thing. But you have to wait. Like Umbridge, make you cut into your hands with right. Oh gosh, yeah, Umbridge was the worst. Totally forgot about that. He's mentioned that. It's poor Harry. Yeah, or doctor office waiting rooms, yeah. And one with a weird smell too, that you don't know where it's coming from, and no matter what chair you're in, you still smell it just as strongly.
We have already established that the accused prints were on the weapon. Incredibly damning evidence in itself.
No, I didn't do it.
Hold your tongue. Now, being that the accused, Maya Fey, is a serial killer, the prosecution believes that the death penalty is the only possible sentence.
Would the defense care to respond?
The accused is innocent, and nothing can convince me otherwise. After all, the crime scene was packed with worshippers. How could my client possibly have committed this murder without a single witness? The accused's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone is enough to render a verdict. As such, I see no need to debate this any further.
It's kind of interesting because they definitely have like created a situation in the story where they are going to do their normal thing probably, where she does the seance dance, I assume. But like if Pure Zelot was just having his head down in prayer the entire time, it's going to be like pointless, you know. But I'm sure, you know, we'll try to pull something out of it or something. But you know, it's interesting. It'll be like all sound or something. But yeah, maybe that's why one of the reasons why Rayfa is not as confident going into this. Maybe. Serial, who is the third? Does it take 3 to be serial killer? Or, oh, no. It's probably that they think that she was the one that's dressing up as Lady Kira, maybe? I was thinking maybe it's just because it's her second killing. At least, you know, from his perspective, this would be her second killing, and so that would make her serial, I guess? That's what I thought. I don't know.
As such, I see no need to debate this any further.
But...
Well, once her benevolence conducts her seance, it will be clear for all to see.
Your Majesty, might I have a word?
Is something the matter, Prosecutor Sodmuddy?
It is about the divination seance.
Oh, that's enough. That's a good one.
Your benevolence!
Stop right there, Prosecutor Sodmuddy. As you wish. Forgive me for overstepping my bounds.
What was that all about?
Barbed Head, have you made peace with your fate? For this time, the divination seance will bring you to your knees. I'm ready, and I accept your challenge.
The only problem is, I have no weapons at my disposal. Our only hope now is what we can glean from the seance vision and Rayfa's insights.
Very well. The divination seance, if you please, your benevolence.
Yes, let us begin. Nana.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
It's interesting that they speak Phoenix's language when they do that. And it's not Karianese, right?
Oh, this is my favorite part. And this is why I became a judge.
Are you saying that because I do that every time, Togepi?
Boom. Oh, so beautiful.
wish I could just cut to that being just my face and just be like dee 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 dee. So I can have my own reaction. That'd be funny.
I don't get it. Why wasn't there anything to see?
You're benevolent. What in the world?
I was unable to evoke any sort of response. I called out the spirit's name many times, but to no avail.
Oh man, she sucks. Oh jeez.
Just as I thought.
Wait, what does he know that we don't?
I had sought to confirm the contents of today's divination seance. After all, it is customary for the prosecutor to verify it beforehand. How does that work?
Come to think of it, I must go perform a divination seance for Purezalot. It is our custom for the prosecution to view its contents before a trial begins.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And that is why I sought to stop her benevolence from performing it here. However, she insisted that it be done. She wished to try one more time here in the Hall of Justice.
I'm glad she did. It was worth seeing. It would appear her benevolence is tired from her manifold duties.
I am not anything of the sort. The victim spirit will not answer my call, but I know not why. It is my sacred duty to convey the truth through the divination seance.
Rafa.
I played I redeemed Domm Swirl as an ongoing joke, which now that I say that, I notice redemptions are back. Yeah, did I leave one that had the camera on? I tried to turn the camera ones off so you guys still had some of the sound makey ones. But I must have left the swirl one on, huh? How did you played it? It doesn't look like that one is available. Are you saying like usually you would do that? Is that what you're saying? Okay, I'm confused. I didn't see. Is that available in your list?
What are we to do without a divination seance? I've never done this before. They've never trained me not to have a seance.
I suppose I shall have to deliver the last rites without them. The prosecution has already taken that into account when preparing for today. I'm fully capable of proving the accused's guilt, with or without a divination seance.
You never fail to impress, Prosecutor Sodmuddy.
This is bad. The divination seance was my one and only hope.
Your Majesty, her benevolence said she isn't tired. So shouldn't we try to find out why the divination seance failed?
How curious, Mr. Rite. Why have you suddenly taken such a keen interest in the divination seance?
The second victim see the seance of the first. Maybe he sees something people are want to hide. Yeah, because that's the thing. Maybe he doesn't want, like his spirit doesn't want to expose who killed him or something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because maybe there had to be like a willing spirit to show it. I don't know. Maybe she can't force spirit to show what they saw. Which, you know, seems fair. That seems fair. You gotta respect. You gotta, you know, consent matters.
Yes, explain yourself. The divination seance is for shedding light on an accused's crimes. It is the Holy Mother's hammer of wrath that is ever poised to pound you into your grave.
For a second there, I thought that was an L.
You should fear it, not plead for it.
I believe in my client. Plus, yesterday, somebody told me something that changed my mind. The divination seance was once thought of as just another piece of evidence. If we were to correctly interpret the visions through careful analysis,
Like we've done so far.
then they would lead us to the truth behind what really happened. And the truth will show that my client, Maya Fey, is innocent.
The truth is, you don't have anything else to fall back on, huh, Nick?
Maya, please. You're not helping.
How dare you! The voice of a Mitama is to be feared, not utilized by vile lawyers such as you.
Seances exact a heavy toll upon the royal priestess. It would be best not to burden her any further. Or does the defense feel that it can pose no counter-arguments without the seance?
No, of course not.
He saw right through me. I'll have to find a way to make the divination seance happen, or we're toast.
Well, since the divination seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice.
Are we gonna force Maya to become him? Wouldn't that be funny if that's what happens? Also, Maya's like, wait, okay, I'll just go ahead and channel him. Maybe she can do that without consent, dude. Who knows? I mean, she is pretty powerful. Let's say when we first started this, I did redemption whenever the cutscene played. Okay, gotcha.
Well, since the divination seance is not possible at this time, I see no other choice. Let us proceed with the trial without the seance, as Prosecutor Sadmati suggested.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Why, I will not forget this, barbed head. This will not be the last you see of me.
Oh, so what are we gonna do? I thought we were gonna try to get into the seance, dude.
Now then, I will now proceed by providing an outline of the case at hand.
Very well. If the lead detective would please come to the stand, we may begin.
I was pulling Mia whenever she needed her. Dude, sometimes I felt like Mia was just forcing her way in as well. I don't know, I got that vibe, at least, like, maybe it was the Pearl one or something. There's one of them where it felt like Mia was the one that to decide to be channeled. But I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty funny. It'd be great to see Mia again.
Sorry, Mr. Wright.
Detective Sky, I understand how you would wish to save the accused and the defense. They are your friends, after all. But you must let them go, and move on.
But...
There is only one way to save them now. By giving their souls the chance to burn away the taint of their sins in the infernal flames.
Oh, I can't do this.
There's the snackoos.
Ah, no eating in the Sacred Hall of Justice.
I have to. Miss Sky. Yes? Don't worry about me and Nick. You just do your job. I'm sure Nick will figure something out eventually.
Aw.
Right. Thanks, Miss Faye.
How very brave for a criminal with a tainted soul. Very well, Detective Sky, please proceed.
Okay, I can do this. Let me start with an overview of this case.
Yeah, Fae ladies are powerful. Hell yeah, I love the Fae family. It's a great group of gals. Eventually, right? That seems like an insult. You're like, oh, he'll do it. It just might take him a while. She's just being real, right?
The latest victim was Purezalot. He had been training under the High Priest and living at his house for the past 2 years. The High Priest's widow, Balib Inmi, has identified the victim's body. He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest.
I see. Well, that certainly makes sense. Would the defense care to respond?
I didn't spot any inconsistencies in her testimony so far. I don't have any evidence in my arsenal. What am I going to do now?
What is it, Maya?
was just wondering about how much the police actually looked into Acolyte Zealot. Because it just might prove to be the key as to why the divination seance failed.
What are you getting at?
Well, it's just a hunch.
Like they didn't know his real name or something, so that she's not being able to call out to him because he's calling out for the wrong person.
Wait a second. During my investigation, Raval told me about how the divination seance works. If I could figure out why it failed, maybe she could try it again. Okay, time to press for some more information.
Because didn't they like explain it that was kind of like the Death Note or whatever? They have to clearly like remember their face and their name. I think in order to
Do the seance.
seance. I end up with 1 HP on his health bar, yeah, or one little spirit thing in this one, right? Like you have a religious name, but is not a true name. Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah. Kind of like a stage name, but for religion.
The latest victim was Pure Zealot.
What kind of person was Acolyte Zealot?
According to the neighbors and others who knew him, he was a deeply devout youth.
I too have heard his name mentioned as one who was a fervent practitioner. I suppose you might say he was the High Priest's star disciple.
Furthermore, he had been training under the High Priest and living at his house for the past 2 years.
Hold it! Aw, damn it. Hold it! Got it, okay. At least the mic's working. Oh, fake tattoo! Yeah, that's true, because, yeah, the tattoo, because it looked like a peach, right? Which, I guess, didn't, like, Taurus look like a peach, too, but it wasn't, like, filled in, like the other guys was? So maybe there was something about that, right? They definitely pointed it out, so it's gotta come up.
2 years? Are you sure about that?
We took statements from the neighbors and his fellow monks. They all corroborate our initial findings.
What about you, Maya?
Well, when I first came here, I saw Zealot praying under the High Priest's instruction.
I see. So the results of the police investigation seem to check out.
The High Priest's widow, Believe in Me, has identified the victim's body.
Hold it! Hold it! I mean, she's the one that identified the body. What if she identified him as Pure Zealot, but Pure Zealot's actually alive, and that was just not even him? Maybe that's part of it.
Was Miss Inme's positive ID the only way you verified the identity of the victim?
Huh? Well, no. We also checked the ID card he carried in the data in his family registry. But
what?
his personal information didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced.
Ah, there we go. Maybe that's why the divination seance failed.
I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Wright.
Here's what I'm thinking. Pure Zealot is a fake name. That's what I was thinking. Let me save. I'm thinking fake name, dude. See, the music got excited for a second.
The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The royal priestess used a deceased face and true name to summon their spirit.
Or uses a deceased... Oh, yeah, I said that right.
Why, yes, that is indeed true. If he was using a forged ID and there is no mention of him in our public records, then he was likely an illegal immigrant. They are not uncommon here in
That's the
Kari.
unknown ranger.
Hey, Ice, what's up? Welcome in. Good to see you, bud. There's actually a Saint Anism. But, okay, what a silly name for a monk, but a monk would indeed pray a lot, right? It's so funny. These names are so on the nose, dude. I do, actually, out of all the ones, like, I don't hate on Pure Zealot enough, or as much, because that's actually one that doesn't bother me as much. It's not as much as, like, Temple is the one that I shit on, because that's like, come on, dude. Just the same word twice. I will say they're all grown on me, though. Balib in me and Taurus in me has grown on me. Still. An illegal immigrant?
Come to think of it, Rayfon mentioned something about immigrants yesterday.
But if that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really is. We'll have to proceed without holding a divination seance this time.
I had always thought that the acolyte zealot was Karianese. Oh, how the high priest must be lamenting his disciples' deception in the Twilight Realm. Well, Mr. Rite, what do you think?
Wonder what she'll name her son. Yeah, that's a good question, man. That'd be funny if they actually like say that. What she's planned? Because she's pregnant, right? So yeah. Let's see. Add it to the testimony. Don't add it to the testimony. So we're gonna get multiple choices on what to add to the testimony? Because usually I always add it to the testimony. I mean, why not? Yeah. This is an important fact. Please add it to the testimony.
It would seem to be a fact most inconvenient for the defense. But if you insist, Detective Sky, please add what you just said to your testimony.
It's like, sometimes I feel like they always make it like it seems bad, but then I flip it, right?
Yes, Your Majesty. He was an illegal immigrant, so we don't know his real name.
And then we press. Hold it! Hold it! Isn't there some way to track down his real name?
No, not if he was an illegal immigrant.
Have you actually confirmed that he was a Karian? He was in Karain illegally. Jeez. I know face cam. Yeah, not tonight. My cam's been messing up lately, so I decided to say fuck it, man.
Well, we don't have any conclusive evidence.
Yeah, hopefully it's not ruining the experience for anybody.
But there's also no evidence of him being a citizen of Karain either.
Oh boy. Now what do we do?
What if there was a clue in the evidence you gathered?
That's probably our only hope at this point. If he really was an illegal immigrant, our proverbial goose has been probably cooked.
He may have been mistaken for a rebel and killed due to his connection to the High Priest.
Hold it! Oh yeah, I got you. Maya isn't that Lady Kira who's been going around capturing rebels.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but...
That verdict was already handed down in the previous trial. It is no longer a point of dispute, and I will not allow you to make it so.
But...
No ifs, ands, and most of all, no buts. I hate butts. I'm a boob guy. That poor desk. Yeah, I just keep slamming on it. What is motive for Maya to be killing illegal immigrant? Yeah, see, that's what I feel like. They don't care about any of this motive, you know, that Maya would have. The accused was posing as Lady Kira, and she killed Acolyte Zealot because she mistakenly believed him to be a rebel.
That's not true! I'm sorry. The verdict has already been read in that case. I have to assume that it's fact now.
Now what do we do?
Now I know why the divination seance failed, but...
Nothing's really changed.
Yeah, which means we're in big trouble.
If he really was an illegal immigrant, it's going to be real hard to find out his real name.
I guess our only choice is to give up on the whole divination seance thing. If only there was some way to find out the victim's real name.
Which I guess we're supposed to have in the court record somewhere, dude? Let's take a look, I guess. Can we get Godot to Toss some coffee at Nayuta. Yeah, dude. That was like one of my favorite, I think, animations that you say that. It was Godot's coffee stuff. I always thought it was great. And Godot's song, I love Godot's song. His theme is one of my favorite songs from the whole series, dude. I can just play that for hours on loop, dude. All right, let's take a look. So we're trying to figure out how we could figure out the guy's real name, or if he was an illegal immigrant, how could we figure out his name? Battle Rebels. The newspaper. Oh yeah, we're checking it out. Maybe. I'm not sure what would be in here, but we're checking it out. Some of the town editors. Not the ice, doesn't have anything to do with it. Police asking the kingdom subjects. Area around the inner sanctum, what's it called? Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything in there. South has reports. My statement. I mean, maybe the peach thing, right? Because there's supposed to be like a registry, right, of everybody who has those tattoos. So maybe that's what I gotta present. His peach-shaped tattoo on the nape of his neck. I feel like that's the only like thing that we could possibly figure out who he is, right? Yeah, I'm gonna save, and I guess we'll try that. Which one to push against now? Save state. High Priest would identify the victim's body. So we don't know his, probably that one that we don't know his real name. Yeah, let's try it on this one. Objection! Oh, no music. Sorry, Detective Sky. But the police missed something important in their investigation.
Huh? What are you talking about?
The victim was undeniably a Karianese native. And this crime scene photo proves it.
It does.
It's a little hard to see, but look closely. You'll see clear proof that the victim was Karianese.
Where? I don't see anything that would prove that.
This proves the victim was Karianese. It's gotta be the tattoo, dude. Come on. It's the dagger sticking out of his back, right? That's what proves it. Look at this tattoo right here.
Why, that's a tattoo of a peach. Delicious.
I would like you to all think about the meaning of this tattoo. What is a peach emoji usually used to resemble? It probably has something to do with that.
The victim really liked peaches? Or maybe he was a butt guy.
Well, peaches are a favorite delicacy here in Karain.
They happen to be a personal favorite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness of their perfectly ripe flesh. They are a blessing from the Holy Mother herself. I do love peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
Nick, I've suddenly got a craving for peaches.
After the trial, Maya. Right now we have bigger fish to fry.
But Nick, I don't want fish. I want peaches.
Unfortunately, that is not a tattoo of a peach. It is not a peach, you say. Then what is it? Take a closer look. Haven't you seen something like that before? Namely, the tattoo on the High Priest's brow.
Oh my.
What?
This mark is only borne by members of the Karianist clergy. So that is what you believe it to be. But are they not utterly different in shapes?
Sure, they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over an existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark all Carianist clergy bear.
Hey, you're right.
Until about 20-some-odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I myself bear one on my... What is it, right butt cheek or something? I didn't get to see it. Oh, peach cobbler, hell yeah. They're actually worshippers of the goddess Karadashan. Is that somehow related to peaches? That is, oh, I get it. Kardashian, gotcha. That took me a second, because she's got the butt. Got it. All right, all came around to me.
That is entirely too much information, Your Majesty.
Information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All we have to do is look up a monk with a mark at the same spot. I'm on it. I'll let you know if I get any hits.
That will not be necessary if you seek information on the clergy. I have it right here. I have it all right here. In the scroll.
Okay, see, I thought he said buttocks, but my eyes weren't fast enough.
Oh my, you never cease to amaze. So, tell us, is there anyone who fits the bill?
Scanning. Scanning. There is just one, and his name is Real Nimu.
Oh my god! His real name is real name? Come on, dude! Jeez. It's so on the nose, dude. It's so on the nose. Why? Oh, jeez. I mean, hey, it got a laugh out of me, dude, so why am I complaining? His real name is real name. Okay, yep, and all that was, that information was stored at Temple Temple, right? Okay, got it. Got it. Alright, I've gathered myself.
He became a monk 20 years ago. Then that must be the victim's real name.
But why would he have tried to cover up his tattoo with another one? It was so cool.
Yeah, there must have been some reason.
Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is that we know his real name.
You're right.
Your Majesty, now that we know the victim's real name, the divination seance might finally work.
A lawyer who willingly seeks a seance. This is entirely unprecedented.
You are but digging your own grave, Defense.
We won't know until we try.
Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope.
Very well. Let the divination seance be held once more. Please, I wish to see the dance again.
Yeah, the Lord Keeper. Lord Keeper. Yeah, that's a perfect one. It's exactly what they would name him. Absolutely. He's, is there a character called Real Killer? Yeah, there should be. Oh my gosh, they totally would.
Why would a lawyer work so hard to see the divination seance be held once more? You are a fool, Barbed Head, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise.
Bring it on, Princess. Because I will correctly interpret each and every one of your insights.
You will regret ever thinking you could use my sacred insights as evidence.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Here we go. Oh, I'm so excited. Nice timing. Added a little zazz on there.
Yes, he was just looking at the ground. Yep, that's about what I expected.
Oh my. It is just as Mr. Wright surmised. Purée wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we have seen the victim's final moments.
But all we could see was the ground.
You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts? I, on the other hand, have discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt.
How? You did?
A most surprising surprise attack. So, tell us, Prosecutor Sadmari, what is this conclusive evidence you have found?
The Plumed Punisher theme song that the deceased heard. Please consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation.
Hey, that's my Plume Punisher strap.
When you press the Megatama on the Plume Punisher's belt,
Oh, because it sounds like the Steel Samurai, it's gonna be like, actually they heard the Steel Samurai song.
Ah!
I don't know. Just guess.
it seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of her crime. This strap is an extremely rare item, is it not, Miss Faye?
You better not break it. There's only one of those in the whole wide world.
Maya, no!
Gosh darn it, Maya.
It is just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down upon you. She sure seems to be enjoying this.
Yeah. Never seen her look so thrilled before either.
It is time to accept the fact that the divination seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused.
That is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now then, if there are no further objections.
Slow down there, your majesty. At least let me make a counter-argument.
What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance?
No, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are yet. But that's never stopped me before.
The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly.
You do not know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the Matama of the deceased. If you believe there are to be errors in my insights, then let us see you prove it. Insight.
No, it'd be pretty funny if that's how it happened. Now you to try to play it, it's like just dead. It's like, how many times are you listening to that? Now you after you took it away from Maya. It was fully charged when Maya had it.
The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. The pattern on the plaza's ground was visible in the darkness. Then, someone was there, and the theme to The Plume Punisher filled the air. The accused held the victim down and plunged her dagger into his upper back. The blade struck true, and in that instant, he departed from this world.
Damn, Maya.
That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments.
Her benevolence's insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true.
I didn't notice any holes there. As they stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. We'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased sensations very carefully. Gingill, Plume Punisher theme, heavy, pain. Okay. Heavy pain. Let's see. So I have to push one of these against what they say, right? Because here's the I'm trying to remember how this works. It's been like weeks since I've done this. I think Domm is right about that music. I think Maya is not weighing enough to be heavy to big man victim. Yeah, that could be true. Yeah, the heaviness. Because to be able to push him down enough for it to say heavy. Yeah. Maya's a small girl, right? I think you could be right on that. The night of the rite. Though it's dark, the pattern on the plaza's ground is visible. And someone was there. And the theme to the Plume Punisher filled the air. The weird thing to me is that it says there's Gingill, right? Because didn't we learn something about the Gingill stuff? Here, let me flip over to this. How it says Gingill here. Didn't we learn that that had to be like eaten and done by like a certain time? So how could that be like smelt there, right? Hold on. Am I crazy? Let's see. That was in Inmi's statement, I think. Made with Gingill. These dishes are the only prepared during the feast, which starts at noon on the day before the rite and must be finished by 3 p.m. the same day. So yeah, how would he be smelling Gingill, right? How do I push that here? I don't know if I'm onto something or not. So definitely main room, not room behind statue. Yeah, you know, that could be. It could be the room behind the statue too. I don't know how we would prove that or not. So what we do in this screen, I believe, is we hit select. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look through what she said again. It's part of the right through. Let's start the pattern on the plaza's ground is visible. I feel like if it's what I'm thinking, it's probably this one where she says it's the night of the right, because that would be what we would be disputing if he smelt that, right? Then we do select. And then okay, hold on. Let me save. Select the smell.
Objection!
Was it really the night of the right?
What do you mean? It could not be otherwise. The accused slew Acolyte Zealot after killing the High Priest during the purification rite.
The only problem is the deceased spirit does not corroborate that.
What's this?
Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says ginjil? Acolyte Zealot shouldn't have smelled any ginjil on the night of the rite. What do you mean? Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you. I actually like this flow better than the normal flow, because we have to like show like, okay, this is the weird thing, and then we get to a point where we show the evidence. I actually kind of like that. Oh, it was enemies. Or, yeah, believes enemies statement, yeah. Present! Take that. The High Priest's wife, Believe in Me, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of ginjil-based dishes. And they're only supposed to be served at a certain time the day before the rite.
Why, I believe you're right. I'd completely forgotten about that.
During the feast, the unique smell of ginjil pervades the entire kingdom. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m. the day before the purification rite.
I am not so easily fooled. Did that autopsy report not make it clear? The estimated time of death was during the rite.
Oh, right. I taught her about that yesterday. Forgive me, Your Benevolence. But the estimated time of death is just that, an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change.
What's this?
Like, if a body was kept cold, the slowed rate of decay makes the death seem more recent.
Why, I believe I have heard something of that before. If it is as Mr. Wright claims, the estimated time of death in the autopsy report will have to be revised.
Updated the autopsy report. What if it was a person breathing or clothes? Oh yeah, because the food smell could be in, like on someone's breath or their clothes. You know, that could be, depending on how smelly it is.
Barbed head, you blinded me with science.
That's awesome. You blinded me with science.
It's poetry in motion.
It's a song. If you guys don't know, it's like, I think it's like an '80s song. You blinded me with science. That's awesome, dude. I fucking love this game series for that stuff. When we were playing Grounded, we would constantly sing that song.
Raw science.
Sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for?
No matter. Their murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused's prints on it It is the incontrovertible evidence.
On it is... Wait. The murder weapon with the accused prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. Okay. The flow of that sentence just was so weird the first time I read it.
I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth.
That's a pretty big revision, dude.
The time of death has been corrected, leaving my insight infallible. Nick!
A change in the time of death is bound to cause some sort of an inconsistency. If I had something that showed what it was like on that day, it could really help. Like a weather report? Because all the ice stuff, right? Blinded me with science and will slowly collapse from the silence. Hell yeah, dude. They should have had a response from Emma with that. That's all what Emma's all about, dude. We know that. Hell yeah. You blinded me with science. Okay. Let's see. What do we do now? Afternoon day before the rite. Let me pause this thing going. Pause. For the rite, though it was a bit dark, the pattern on the plaza's ground was visible, but wasn't there ice on the ground that day, right? I think it was getting what Hoodie was talking about. Or was it, is that truly the ground there? Or was the ground covered with ice? The thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sanctum to the Plaza of Devotion until yesterday has melted. Yeah, so we should be seeing ice if that were true. So that should be the next thing, is the site. Let's do a little save-a-rooski. Save it. I'm as passionate about anything in science, absolutely. Can't blame her. Science is awesome. Exactly, dude. That's one thing. Wait, what about? That's one thing I think I really liked about Emma, was that she was so science forward. Because I'm a very science person. You know, like I like Maya and her like superpowers and stuff. I think that's pretty cool, or medium powers. But I love the luminol and the prints and everything, and I love Emma's passion for science and stuff. So she's like up there for me just because of that. You know, I don't want to say she's a better sidekick than any of the others, but she was just, I was so excited when she came into the picture because like, oh, that's so cool. And the fact that she's a detective now just is so cool. All right, let's see. So I saved, and now we're going to select, I guess just site, right?
Objection!
Oh no, I was on the right screen. We're good. Grumpy Emma is also funny. Yes, yeah, she is. Yeah, because she wasn't a forensic like investigator for a while.
The change in the date and time of the crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface. What's this? You are making that irritating face again! Cease that at once!
Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Now, let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. Yeah, I love the snackoos too, man. I would love to get a bag of snackoos. They sound delicious.
Do you have bats in the belfry, Barbed Head? There is nothing to see.
Bats in the belfry. That's like a really old saying, isn't it?
The ground at the plaza was all that entered the victim's eyes.
And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the rite, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground. Impossible, you say? Do explain.
This piece of evidence shows why the plaza's ground was not visible that day.
And we're talking about the newspaper. I always do a safety save.
Take that. This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size, but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick white ice the day before the rite. What? But...
The victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground.
Exactly. And so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? If you have something to say, then say it. The last thing that the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza of Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere. What? What?
What? What? Then where do you propose the victim was actually killed?
Yes, tell us where. Otherwise, your argument is worthless.
About that. No, I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Any ideas, Maya?
Let me think. Well, it's somewhere green and shaggy, right?
Right. But where could that be?
What is it, Barbed Head? Giving up already?
Not at all. Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy? This shows where the victim was killed.
We know that that is the underground hideout thing or whatever. The secret cave.
The Rebel Hideout.
Do a little safety save.
Take that! The secret hideout the rebels were using.
The Rebel Hideout?
There was no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber.
So he, oh, because his hands are right there. Oh my gosh, I just put that together. That's what he was looking at. His hands were against the thing. That's right. They were, getting him from behind, if you know what I'm saying.
There was no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber.
You're absolutely right. There's no place on the floor anyway.
Then what did the victim see in his final moments if not the floor of the rebel hideout?
This is what the victim saw in his final moments.
But the water was already red. Exactly, Goody. Exactly. That's why the luminol picked up right there as well.
The shaggy green surface the victim saw was one of the moss-covered stone slabs. As you can see, there are two distinct hand-shaped impressions on the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab. That does agree with the seance vision. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same.
I concur. There is no proof that the murder occurred in the rebel hideout.
Indeed. What evidence do you have of this?
I have already shown you the evidence.
What do you mean?
Please take a look at this second version of the photo I just showed you. You can see the results of the luminol test I performed in the rebel hideout. This is proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of that stone slab.
Is it true?
This information has already been provided to the police.
Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong?
What? Oh, we thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from the outside. So we haven't tested it yet.
Don't make any assumptions. Emma.
Then you must do so at once.
Yes, Your Majesty. We didn't want to ruin this moment in the game. We did it for the drama.
It appears the police have finished testing the blood. Detective Sky, your report, please.
The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to Purazalot, just like the defense claims.
Detective Sky, do you realize what your blunder has done to me? When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber.
Are we going to discuss her salary or whatever?
There. I will deliver a joyous sermon onto you for 8 hours straight.
I'm really sorry, but please, anything but that.
A joyous sermon. And it's a punishment.
Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for.
Yep, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but...
Go for it. It's full speed ahead.
The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then, his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So, when we thought we saw Acolyte Zealot praying during the rite, he was already dead.
Ah!
And that's not all. If he was killed at the Inner Sanctum, that would explain one more thing.
And that would be...
Now, the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. The proof of which was left behind at the Sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was.
Oh, shoot. What was that? Hold on. Safety save. Gotta have to think for that one. Is it like that carved out area? Point to the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. Was it Maya's statement about it already being stained red? I don't see how that directly points to that. It's made to appear later than it actually was. I mean, maybe. Maybe we can make that work. I think if we want to hear an 8-hour sermon regardless of religious status, yeah, that's probably true. Especially with no singing break, I think is ice, yes. Yeah, something about the cold, right? It's gotta be that shoveled out area. It's gotta be this then, right? We saved, so we'll try it. Take that! Because they used all the snow or something, right?
Why, these are photos of the Inner Sanctum?
I'd like you to focus on this one. The proof is right here in this photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed. The time was mistaken. And the place too. And just what do you believe that proves? That my client is innocent. What of her fingerprints on the dagger? And the Plume Punisher theme the victim heard? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence.
Well, I mean, we know where the Plume Punisher thing could come from now, because I believe there's an alarm clock in there.
I see your point.
Wasn't this your big chance, Nick?
I'm really hoping that the difference in location can invalidate either the weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you.
Actually, that might be possible, at least for one of them.
Really? What's this? You say you can contradict our argument for a key piece of evidence? Very well. Let us see you try.
Nick, take a good look at the rebel hideout photo.
Oh! The defense can invalidate this piece of evidence.
I'm pretty sure I know where this is going.
Safety save.
We want to hear Nayuta talk for 8. Yeah, just Nayuta alone, dude. He's so boring. I hear that. I don't want to hear him talk for 8 seconds, let alone 8 hours. Yeah, exactly. The fingerprints on the Plume Punisher theme.
The Plume Punisher theme? And how do you intend to support such a claim? Since the murder happened in the rebel hideout, there's something there that played the theme song, other than my client's strap.
It wasn't the strap. Is this true?
The item that played the Plume Punisher theme song was this.
Yeah. Present. This is a Plume Punisher alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off.
Well, then we can know the exact time of murder then if we know what alarm it's, like what time it was set to. I don't know if we got that detail. I mean, we would have put that in the court record, right? I don't know. Maybe Emma will tell us. Someone sent Emma some tea, snack ooze, and luminol. Yeah, she definitely needs all of those things. And maybe some more powder for her fingerprints, because she knows she's using up all the powder. Isn't it like aluminum powder? Like something in aluminum? I don't remember.
What proof do you have that the alarm went off?
What proof do you have that it was my client Strap that played the theme song?
Do not twist the facts with your lawyerly wiles. Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. And here is what really happened.
Okay, updated. It's an afternoon of the day before the yeah. Oh, and that's it? Okay.
Though there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened.
I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger. Most impressive, Your Benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case. No, there is one. What's this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency. Well, how would Maya know about the fucking sacred chamber? I mean, not that we can prove that or anything, but like, how would she know?
Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same.
Slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite, and someone was there, and the theme, the Plume Punisher, filled the air. The accused plunged her knife into the defenseless victim's back. The blade struck true, and in that instant, he departed from this world. What's the heavy thing? She went on a grand tour of the place by herself. That totally would come up in my mind. Like,
Oh, actually, yeah, I did know about this place.
God damn it, Maya! Let's see. The accused plunged her knife into the defenseless victim's neck. Injury, blah, blah, blah. The weapon thought to be a Warba dagger. Some weapons kill a priest. I feel like it's the heavy thing. I'm just not sure what we would do. Is it like the door was opening or something? You know what I mean? Salad is taller than Maya from the family photo. That would be an interesting. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Instacart recommending me eggs. Like I need eggs. That's funny. Maya is short though. She is short. Yeah, you went over that last week, didn't you, Ice? I feel like it's got to be pointing to the heavy. Maybe if we just try pointing to it, it'll lead us somewhere. Let's do a little safety save. Let's pause it. Pause. Touch heavy. Check that out, maybe. I don't know how Maya could be viewed as heavy, but I don't know. Nope. It's giving me the generic response here. Inconsistent? I think not. Exactly. That's where the inconsistency lies. Okay. Is it because he's smelling the ginger again? Could that be a part of it again? I don't know how that would. Blade struck true, and in that instance, he departed from this world. The accused plunged her knife into the defenseless victim's neck. Nothing's jumping out of me. I have chickens who are both laying very well right now. Oh yeah, you definitely don't need eggs then. Okay. I thought you were just laughing because it was like such a generic thing. The propaganda of big egg. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. Alright, let me see. How do I need to be thinking about this? Stood with the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Then someone was there, and the theme to the Boom Punisher filled the air. He was plunging her knife into the defenseless victim's neck. I think I'm gonna have to look up a. I just keep going over everything. I'm like, I don't know, man. I tried clicking on the heavy thing. Maybe I just did something wrong here. Let me look. Alright, so we're at brief updates, the first and the second statement. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Yeah, I'm looking at those. On the new first statement and fourth panel. Yeah, select the heavy touch. Okay, so I was on the wrong statement. Okay, so it was the heavy. I just forget sometimes how important it is to be on the right statement, apparently. So I need to be on the first statement. And now we select heavy. There we go. Eggs are a common thing to buy. Yeah, I definitely buy them. I ain't got no chickens, but I bet fucking fresh eggs are probably pretty sweet, dude. I do love me a good egg. Really doesn't make sense is them trying to recommend a liquor even though I don't drink and have never ordered alcohol from them ever. Yeah, that would be weird. Mine doesn't ever offer that to me because I'm not a drinker either. I've never drank. And yeah, thank goodness it doesn't, because that would just be so annoying. It's like, I'm not going to waste my fucking money on that shit. You kidding me? The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer. But he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. So the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from? Yes, I see your point. Since the victim was standing, he couldn't have been held down. Then tell us, Mr. Wright, what was the heavy sensation felt by the victim? What caused the heavy sensation Zealot felt? Any thoughts, Maya?
I agree that sense of heaviness seems important, but there's also the matter of Zealot's hands on the stone slab. Why were they even there?
Could it be related to the cause of the heavy sensation?
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have an answer for us?
Of course. If I just envisioned the state Zealot was in when he was killed,
The cause of the heaviness the victim felt was...
Yeah, I was just thinking that this was going to be one of the things, the falling stone slab. Because, like, what if it fell? But, like, wouldn't we know if it fell on him? I feel like there would be evidence on his body, right? Like, the autopsy report would come out. The culprit jumping up. But I think they're trying to make me say the falling stone slab. Let's do a little safety save. Safety save. Fish eggs are good. Hell yeah. I used to get fresh eggs from my aunt and uncle. They had a bunch of chickens. Or they still do. I just don't. Not close enough now. But yeah, we used to have farm fresh eggs all the time when I was growing up, dude. So nice. So good. You know, regular, you know, white eggs are okay, but farm fresh is the way to go. Just rubbing alcohol and the red and white wine vinegar. Yeah, same here. Yeah, I definitely buy that stuff, yeah. Not vinegar as much, but definitely rubbing alcohol for cleaning stuff. Alright, let's see. Safety saved. We're ready for stone slab.
The only conceivable cause is the stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath.
What?
Oh. The stone slab came falling down on him, crushing him underneath.
Right. That was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt.
Yeah, this doesn't seem right, dude.
While your theory is impressive, you have overlooked a key fact. The victim was not crushed to death. Rather, he was stabbed.
Exactly, right? Oh, yeah.
Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the slab had fallen on him? Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have both been crushed together.
Well, would you care to explain?
Sure, I'd love to. That doesn't mean I can. How could the dagger have been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim?
The dagger couldn't have been plunged... wait. The killer couldn't have plunged the dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what we thought it was? Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout. But the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab. There isn't enough space between the two to use any of the weapons found within. Yeah, there's not much space by the entrance, is there?
So, what was the real murder weapon then? Better think of something.
If the murder weapon wasn't the dagger, then the dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice, but the autopsy doesn't mention that.
He must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like the dagger.
Yeah, like the one on the statue, or the warbod maybe on the statue must have something. Isn't there a statue right there? Maybe that's what it was. Because it could have been the door opening or something. Doesn't that door slide open? I don't remember how it opens. I guess we don't get to see it open, right? It's just like, oh, the door opened. A lot of blue and black egg here as they are breed that survive wellest in snow and cold. Oh, that's interesting. Cool. Actually, farm eggs can be white too. Egg color is determined by... Oh, it's by the breed? Oh, interesting. I feel someone told me that it was what they ate once. So I guess that was just them talking out of their ass, huh? So it's a breed thing. Interesting. I thought it was a diet thing. Weird. I could go to the Tractor Supply and buy white leghorn chicks, and they'd give me white eggs when they mature. Interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. There you go. Learn something new every day. That's what I get for trusting just some rando.
Would the defense care to offer any explanation sometime this century?
Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime? Something that had the shape similar to the warbod dagger?
Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright.
This shows what really killed the victim.
Little safety save.
Come on, Phoenix, we got this. This? Somehow is this what I'm gonna have to click on to show that? This is the only picture we have of that statue, and I feel like I don't know. Let me look at the one of the hideout, because I don't think the hideout shows anything. Yeah, because he like zooms out and shows the diagram, so maybe that's what I need to do, because it showed the diagram when he was thinking. So maybe this shows it, so I'll use this? I don't know. Did we save already? I think I safety saved. I'll do another one, just in case. Factory eggs here just tend to be white, as most factory farms use white leghorns. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And they're hybrids as they have the best feed to egg ratio. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if that's what the original person who told me that had learned, and then they just remembered it has to do with feed somehow. They just remembered the feed to egg ratio as just feed. I don't know. Who knows, dude? Maybe I just misheard them. I don't remember who that was, but it was a long time ago. But thanks for learning me something new, Ice. That's cool. Let's see. Go ahead and try presenting this. Is this good enough?
The inner sanctum's diagram. You believe the murder weapon is somewhere in the sanctum.
This is what really took Puree Zealot's life. Right?
But that is the
Warbot statue?
Exactly. The Warbot statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it.
And that is what really took the victim's life.
You imbecile fool!
Oh, you imbilic fool! My bad.
The statue is outside of the hideout. How do you propose it impaled someone who was inside?
Haven't you heard? The Warbot statue also functions as the hideout's door.
What do you mean?
The statue can pull a complete switcheroo.
A switch-a-roo.
To put it simply, it's a revolving door.
A revolving door? Why, that makes perfect sense.
Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance to be this. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came toppling toward him. He threw up his hands to stop it, but its weight forced him backwards. Unfortunately, the Warbot statue was right behind him. This cannot be!
Gotcha!
But the accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger. She had held it while rehearsing for the rite, which is when her prints got on it. Ugh.
This is a shocking turn of events, but there is a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favor. I believe we must accept that the Warbot statue was what killed the victim.
Its sharp protruding feathers took Puree Zealot's life. It's also a revolving door, and it's covered in blood. Now that we know how Acolyte Zealot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime.
Nice work, Nick.
How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth.
No, Your Benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Do you understand now? Your kingdom needs lawyers so that they can interpret your insights.
But that means I have been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time?
Your Benevolence! Are you unwell? All the color has drained from your face.
All those people I've killed. All these years. Hundreds. Oh, I'll be fine. Continue your proceedings without me.
As you wish.
I feel kind of bad for her.
Now then, I would have the defense continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died.
Acolyte Zealot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means that the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbod dagger was thrust into him, to make it look like the murder weapon.
That does seem to agree with what we now know. But why would the real killer go to such lengths?
I believe stabbing Acolyte Zealot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was a safety save. A warning from the Twilight Realm, a crime committed for fun to make it look like a serial murder. To make it look like a serial murder, for sure. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right. The real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case.
They did?
That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away.
Oh, he's using his lawyer or prosecutor jutsu. Your reasoning has more holes in it than the cheese your foreigners so enjoy. Than the cheese that you foreigners so... Okay. What? That's what I was saying. Like those putrid hole-riddled clumps of curds that only a rat like you could love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid hole-riddled brain, has putrefied.
What's his deal with things going putrid?
You have yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. Careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows. Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the rite. But Acolyte Zealot had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him. And we know the rest.
Or the prints on the stone slab, huh? You gotta prove that. Make a lot of calls there, buddy. Actually, rats and mice don't particularly... Yeah, peanut butter is what people use to lure them, don't they? They'll eat it, but it's not their favorite, right? Yeah, it's like, how did that association come out? I know that people always use peanut butter in, like, rat or mice traps and stuff. I've seen that a lot.
I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life.
When the High Priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him.
Which does not jive with the previous seance at all there, Nayuta. What a weak-ass argument.
I believe Prosecutor Sadmati has posed a compelling scenario. The defense, on the other hand, has yet to disprove the accused's guilt.
Why would my client move Acolyte Zealot's body to where everyone could see it? And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints into his dead body? She had no reason to do any of those things. The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of, Lady Kira will slay the Defiant Dragons.
Which makes no sense, because Maya would never be against what the Defiant Dragons are for. So it's so stupid.
So that is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see.
Now he has the judge convinced too? I thought I'd finally made some headway.
Well, Mr. Rite, about time for one of those groans of distress, is it not?
Groan of distress? It kills me to admit this, but I've got nothing to counter his argument with. I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya.
Yeah, he's making a bunch of, like, accusations that he has to prove, dude. What the hell, man? Burden of evidence or whatever.
Is it not time to end your futile struggle? You were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking. Accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so, finally know peace.
A dead lawyer walking, indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Kalrain? But I must admit, I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. I had said the defense's reasoning had a putrid cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was from his own putrid body, on the verge of death.
Now I'm a rotting zombie. Think, who could have killed Zealot the day before the Rite? Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum?
Only those involved in the Rite can enter the sanctum, so...
Wait a second. Only a rebel would have known about the secret hideout. The only person who was involved with the Rite had access to the sanctum, and was suspected to be as being a rebel, or suspected of being a rebel is...
He's talking about Tara Sinmi.
Did somebody come to mind?
Yes, except there's one huge problem.
A huge problem?
He's dead. Maybe some of the killer in the case to have committed it for fun. Yeah, wasn't that a funny option? They always say stuff like that. It's like part of me would like to like see what they say to that, but I don't know. I also just like to try to get it right the first time if I can.
What are you two going on about? Plotting your escape from this sacred hall? I would not put it past you, considering you have no means to raise further objection.
If I don't do something, Prosecutor Saad Mahdi will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this, regardless of that huge problem.
Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Pure Zealot's murder. Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist. No, there is one person who knew everything.
Does such a figure truly exist? Tell us, who might that be?
I believe the prime suspect in Acolyte Zealot's murder is...
Yeah, I'm pretty confident on this one, but we're gonna do a little safety save.
Take that!
Think about mice and rats would never come across anything cheese in the wild. Rather, they eat a lot of nuts and seeds that they find. Yeah, which makes peanut butter make sense, right? Yeah, that's why it's like one of those things where I guess people must have just noticed him eating cheese at some point, right? And maybe that's how that stereotype got started. I don't know. Till someone discovers a cheese tree. Yes, all hail the cheese tree. There was a fantasy novel series I read where they had trees that just grew loaves of bread and shoes and random stuff. It was so quirky or whatever, but that reminds me of that.
It had to be someone allowed to enter the sanctum, and who knew of the hideout. And that would be the High Priest. Gasp. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the Rite. You would pin the crime upon the dead, knowing very well they tell no tales.
Nice. They tell no tales. Good one. Thanks for the gas, Togepi. Oh, yeah. I should have that one on my stream deck.
Have you no shame?
Get him, Francie. Whoosh.
Dead men tell no tales. That is definitely a problem. If only the High Priest could tell his side of the story.
As he looks at Maya.
What? Do I have something on my face?
Wait a second.
Could this actually work?
Oh no. Don't tell me I have some of my breakfast caught between my teeth.
No, there's even the slightest possibility. I'll have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell tales. Therefore, I would like to request the High Priest's testimony.
This his testimony? And just how do you propose we get the deceased to testify?
There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as...
I mean, this one's easy, but we're still gonna save. Channeling.
Summon him here by means of spirit channeling.
What did you just say?
Spirit channeling? Has this lawyer finally gone insane? This is sacrilege. May the Holy Mother strike him down.
Peace! I am frankly astonished you even know of such a thing. But spirit channeling is a secret art that only Her Eminence Queen Garan can perform. And Her Eminence is far too busy with other duties to perform it at our pleasure.
I suspected as much. That means our only hope is...
Maya and her secret. She's the secret queen of all mediums.
It's okay, Nick. You can tell them.
But Maya... I thought you wanted to keep it a secret here in Karain.
Don't worry. It's not like it's against the law to violate some religious precepts, so... I don't think we'll be punished. At least, I hope not.
But this is a crucial period for you. It'll decide whether you become Master of Karain.
Of Kurain, or whatever.
We don't have any other choice, do we? If I'm found guilty, it'll be a lot worse than not becoming Master of Kurain.
All right. Thanks, Maya. Actually, there is someone here who is capable of channeling spirits. But even her benevolence, Princess Rayfa finds the divination seance to be a challenge. Who could possibly have greater spiritual power than she, aside from the Queen?
That would be... me.
Is this some sort of joke? A foreigner could not possibly have such power.
Even the royal priestess isn't capable of such a feat.
Peace! Peace, I say! Is this true? Is the accused capable of performing the secret art of spirit channeling?
Well, yes. Yes, I can.
Now, Your Majesty, we'd like your permission to begin.
Oh.
Rayfa's back!
That's enough!
Your benevolence! This is an outrage! An outrage, I say! First you make a mockery of the divination seance, and now spirit channeling?
Her benevolence speaks the truth. Spirit channeling is a sacred rite. Foreign devils, I say they should be put to death!
Still your voices! Barbed Head, spirit channeling is a most sacred and secret of arts. Are you prepared to face the consequences of what you propose?
Yes, I am.
Your benevolence, are you saying you approve of their use of spirit channeling?
I will judge whether their claim is true. If this is but another of their lies, they shall be executed on the spot.
Damn, dude.
Very well then. Your benevolence? What if the accused accidentally calls forth an evil spirit?
Do you truly believe this foreigner is capable of channeling spirits?
No. But I wanted to be sure, as I'm responsible for the safety of all present.
Well, an inexperienced practitioner could inadvertently call forth a dangerous spirit. But do not fear, for I have a Magatama of parting. With it, I can send spirits back to the Twilight Realm by halting the flow of spiritual power.
She could also, like, keep Maya from doing what she wants to do and pretend like Maya's lying or something.
That is a relief indeed.
These foreigners have thrown down a gauntlet. Let us not shrink from their challenge. We must prove them guilty and deliver their last rites. Do I make myself clear, Prosecutor Sadmari?
Perfectly, Your Benevolence.
Very well. The accused may channel the High Priest's spirit. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare.
Oh, looks like this is where we're going to end it for this week then.
We will resume as soon as the preparations are complete. Until then, this court is adjourned.
To be continued. There it is. Well, that's an exciting thing to come back on. We're going to see Maya channel an old guy. That's exciting, dude. Can't wait to see how they pull that off. There we go, and then we'll do our saves here. All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for coming to hang out. Appreciate you guys chilling with me as we played through this, and we will be back here again next week. I guess it'll probably be Wednesday. I tend to like do Mondays and Wednesdays. It feels like. So I mean, it's not like I couldn't be a Tuesday, but I guess it's probably gonna be Wednesday at this point. So yeah, if you guys want to check out the next part, obviously come by again on Wednesday. Other than that, I don't have any other streams planned for this week. But who knows? There might be something. Just look out for those notifications. So I can't wait to see how they mix together. Yeah, it's gonna be so funny. However they decide to draw, that's gonna be awesome. And to see like whatever like animations they decide for him will be pretty fun. You know, if the Magatama of Parting had been in the second game during the Turner Gray trial, it would have been a cool callback. Yeah, it could have been a cool callback. Yeah, and it seems like they could have. Well, they definitely could have like brought it up, right? Yeah, they could have, for sure. Thank you for the stream, Dom. Yeah, no problem, Hoodie. Thanks for coming by. It was fun to watch. Hopefully, camera is easy fix for you. Yeah. We'll get it figured out, I'm sure. No problem. But yeah, hopefully it wasn't too bad. It was kind of nice not having the camera to a degree. So I mean, who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll become a VTuber. I'm just kidding. Anyways, but you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hopefully we'll see you guys on Monday when I play my next episode of Sherlock Holmes. If you guys haven't been checking that out, I've been playing that on Mondays. But if not, maybe I'll see you again on Wednesday. But you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.